The Billy Simmons murder trial started off this morning with his mother's testimony.
Simmons' mom says she still believes her son is innocent. News 10's Kaelin Conrad was in court today and has more on the story.
Tension in the courtroom was running high with Simmons' mom on the stand.
Ms. Simmons, isn't it true that you would lie to protect your son?
No, I'm not going to lie to protect my son. I'm not going to jail. And I'm not lying now.
Barbara Simmons to this day doesn't think her son killed Kaelin Glazier. Ms. Simmons says on the night Kaelin Glazier disappeared, she saw the girl at her house around 6 in Billy's camper. She says her son then came into the main trailer on the property to watch a movie with his grandpa and told her Glazier had left.
What was his response?
She went to meet her mom at the church.
You're sure about that?
Yes, sir.
So you didn't see her leave, you didn't hear her leave, but that's what he said?
Yes.
After Ms. Simmons stepped down, the Deputy State Medical Examiner, Dr. James Olson, took the stand. He explained the challenges of determining the cause of death and remains left out for so long.
You're somewhat limited, and I could not find anything that would specifically say, yes, you have evidence of strangulation, which I think would be highly unlikely, and skeletal remains anyway. But certainly couldn't exclude it as a possibility of, as a mode of homicide in this case.
He said he was also unable to rule out suffocation, blunt or sharp force trauma.
Clearly you have a situation where you have several feet of duct tape that were found with her hair entrapped in it that at some point appeared to have been wrapped around her head and neck, head and face. That, that may or may not have been a cause of death.
Dr. Olson officially ruled Glazier died of homicidal violence of an undetermined type. Covering your news in Medford, Kaelin Conrad, News 10.
Testimony continued throughout the afternoon. News 10's Whitney Clark continues our team coverage.
Trish, Rick, everyone, we're well into the second week of the William Simmons murder trial here at the Jackson County Courthouse. Now, the focus of the trial this afternoon was about the night Glazier first went missing, November 6, 1996. We heard from 9 witnesses this afternoon, most of them detectives who interviewed Simmons in the days and weeks following Glazier's disappearance. 3 detectives we heard from said in their interviews with Simmons told them Kaelin was over at his house the night of the 6th from around 6:45 to 8 p.m. They watched a part of a movie called Heat, which I'm told is a pretty violent crime drama set in Los Angeles. He also told detectives he saw her last walking from his home to church on Haven Road. Now, for the first time, we heard a recorded interview between Simmons and a detective, Greg Wright, with OSP. It was about 23 minutes long, and it was taken on December 6th, 1996, so just a month after Glazier first disappeared. Now, in this recorded interview, Simmons said Glazier would always go over to his house on Wednesdays, that they were good friends. And in the tape, Simmons said he thought Kaelin was abducted, didn't think she would have gone missing. Now, when asked if Simmons thought she was dead or alive, he said he had no way to tell, but his gut feeling did tell him she was dead. Now, one of the last witnesses we heard from was Terry Newell. He used to be with Medford PD. He interviewed Simmons back in 2008 and 2010. Now, in those interviews, he showed Simmons pictures of Haven Road and areas near his home in Rouge off Highway 238, pointing out that there were no lights. Simmons said he wanted to clear up something, and that in his previous interviews, he said he had seen her walking. He wanted to make it clear that he didn't see Kaelin walking. He had heard her. Now, in this interview, Simmons said he started crying and he didn't want to answer any more of the questions. Now, in cross-examination, Newell says that everyone is different and some people do get emotional and can have a hard time remembering details. Now, like I said before, we're well into the second week of this trial. Prosecutors are expected to wrap up their case this week, and then the defense will start bringing in their witnesses. The trial will resume once again tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Covering your news in Medford, Whitney Clark, News 10.
And News 10 is following the story closely. We'll have updates tonight at 6 and 11. You can also get updates any time of day on our website at ktvl.com.